we're here. What do you want?
I just wanted some time with my brother. You little dope.
You big goof.
You have a problem, John.
A bit of an understatement there, buddy.
No, I mean, like, look, the Ruby Spears cartoon is great and all, but it's just starting to feel kind of dated. It's so chock full of 90s cheese that I don't really think I want to watch it anymore.
Well, what do you want to watch instead? I mean, I'm sure you got more Mega Man NT Warrior episodes to get through, right?
I mean, yeah, but it's not really the same. I mean, it's Battle Network, so it's like this whole other thing entirely.
If only there was some kind of cartoon to tie in with Mega Man 11, but also it had nothing to do with Mega Man 11 at all.
Yeah, if you go back a little over 2 years, we did a video reacting to Mighty Number 9, which went about as well as we expected.
This
bizarre
is everything
trailer.
wrong with advertising, I'll tell you that. I don't even get a good sense of what the game is. Hopefully it doesn't fucking suck, but that makes me really angry.
I mean, that
As
was a
just person
surprisingly
on this planet.
hurtful little thing there.
It doesn't hurt me, it just makes me want to hurt them.
And we also got our first details about an upcoming show temporarily referred to as Mega Man 2017. The new animated Mega Man series, which will be airing in 2017 for the 30th anniversary, will follow Aki Light, a normal,
fuck you.
a normal, upbeat, and above all optimistic young school-aged robot.
Aki means light. By
No,
the way.
Aki means crystal, which means it's literally named Crystal Light.
Okay.
A young school-aged robot, because that's a thing that happens with robots,
Robots
now,
have to go to school.
living in Silicon City.
Oh boy,
He
strike
soon
two.
learns that deep within his programming are secret protocols that allow him to transform, giving him nanocore armor,
Strike three.
a Mega Buster, and the iconic helmet to turn him into a superhero, Mega Man. If you'd like to see what Mega Man looks like,
Do I?
let me see if I can find it here.
Is there a trailer for this? Or
There
is
it
just
is.
Oh,
Jesus
man.
There it is.
That looks like they made it in Flash and
It looks like they looked at the Mighty Number 9 character designs and were like, we fucking own you.
Flipped it around.
We're going to do it too.
So it's made by the animators behind Ben 10. If that means anything to any of you, I'm
I've
too
watched
old for
Ben
that.
10
It was like one
because
of those things
I'm a
that
child.
it was one of those things that came on the air just as I was too old to be watching
Yeah.
cartoons like that,
And I'm older than Rick.
and too young to be
so,
watching cartoons like that. So,
I watched it.
Man,
Not a lot, but I have
Man
seen
of Action Entertainment. They made Ben 10. Along with DHX Entertainment, Dentsu Inc. are producing the new Mega Man animated TV series, with an elementary school crowd being the show's demographic target, which is fine, and that's probably where it should go.
However, the producers believe that the series will also appeal to the characters, longtime fans from the game, citing Mega Man's unflinching wide-eyed optimism and an over-the-top sense of humor as having been preserved from the original version. Do they mean the original cartoon?
Yeah.
Our favorite.
IGN has revealed Mega Mini, a small companion who emerges from Mega Man's helmet.
Jesus Christ.
What the fuck? It's Navi. Hey! Hey, look! Listen! Hey! Look! Listen! Look!
This kills the Mega Man.
Not exactly off to a great start if they needed to take an extra year to get it done. The development of the show would end up being spearheaded by a writing collective called Man of Action. Hey Rick, did you know that this was made by Man of Action?
What? Hey, John, did you know Man of Action made Ben 10?
What? Did you know that Man of Action made Generator Rex?
What is Generator Rex? Okay, one of the most amusing things about our week-by-week Deep Head and Chill series on this show has been the massive number of comments telling us that it was made by the guys behind Ben 10 and Generator Rex. Like, okay, sure, I get Ben 10 getting mentioned. The show has been running in some form or another since 2005, and the original Film Roman animation tests for the series were pretty reminiscent of it, but what the hell is Generator Rex?
Not to mention, Man of Action, the developers of the series and overall showrunners, have way cooler things in their bibliography. Like how before they even started on Ben 10, they wrote the story for X-Men Legends on 6th generation consoles, and back in 1998 they created a superhero team you might have heard of thanks to their 2014 animated film adaptation, Big Hero 6. And they also created the animated series that followed the movie, and Ultimate Spider-Man in 2012, and Avengers Assemble in 2013, for which we had a pretty amazing drinking game over at CJ's house.
And each of the individual members of the team were pretty impressive in their own right. I mean, one of them wrote for Days of Future Past, the original comic series. One of them wrote almost everything Deadpool did all the way back from its start in 1997. I mean, these guys have some serious clout, so why Generator Rex?
Yeah, fuck you.
Yeah, people who like that show that we don't know about because we're 30.
And we don't know it, so how could it be good?
Yeah. Take that, youngs.
Youngs. The show is being produced by Dentsu Entertainment, who literally has not had anything to say about itself other than pimping out the new MegaMan show for 3 years now. And DHX Studios best known for, well, nothing yet.
The animation eventually shifted over from Film Roman using a more classic series-oriented style to DHX Studios Vancouver, who opted to make the character designs a bit more original and unique to the series, which actually makes this a distant cousin to Beast Wars. That'll come up again.
And since DHX Media also owns DiC, that also makes it distantly related to both the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog and the Legend of Zelda cartoons, but not the Ruby Spears Mega Man. Is this confusing anybody else yet?
Huh, I wonder what other shows DHX Vancouver's worked on. Moving on. Like with Ben 10, the show premiered on Cartoon Network on August 5th, but is airing on its competitor Disney XD in Japan and in Canada on Family Chrgd. Geez, even the channel name isn't fully charged. Oh, did I say airing? I meant will air. Because for some reason, Canada isn't getting the show in any form until September 8th. Oh, hey, that's today.
Congratulations! We're so sorry. And then there's the Cartoon Network app. For whatever reason, they opted to let users of the app watch the first 2 episodes 2 days early on August 3rd. And if you had a cable subscription,
which we do now,
then you could watch the first 10 episodes on August 3rd, which we did. And thank God for that, because if we wanted to see the show on broadcast TV at all, thanks to Cartoon Network's really frightening Teen Titans Go fetish, we would have had to get up early and watch 2 half-size episodes back-to-back at 6:30 in the morning. It's almost like Cartoon Network wants this show to fail.
And I don't remember seeing literally one advertisement for this, online, on TV, anything.
Yeah. Well, we got 10 episodes. Let's see what they got for us.
First up, we have Throwing Shade, Part 1, which opens with a building on fire, segueing into an immediate visual reference to the opening to Mega Man 2 with, quality sprites, and an oblique reference to Sonic the Hedgehog.
What do I call you? Blue Streak!
Blue streak speeds by. Sonic the Hedgehog.
Blue streak? That's not bad, but I'm actually called...
Mega Mini! Mega Mini!
This is Mega Mini, you guys.
Oh! Hey, I'm working here!
He isn't as bad as we thought he would be. He's worse. Just about every shot he's in feels like it never ends, and his comments are almost universally just some random joke that has nothing to do with what's going on.
So Mega Man goes back home, where we learn that his secret identity is that of Aki Light, a robot built by Dr. Beefcake over here.
Aki? Suna? What are you two doing up so late?
Hey, does Dr. Light sound familiar to you?
He does indeed, as well he should. That's Gary Chalk, a damn prolific voice actor. I remember him playing Optimus Primal back in Beast Wars. See, we brought it back. But he's also VA'd for Optimus Prime a number of times since, as well as voicing King Hippo and Captain N the Game Master, Grounder in The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, Dr. Robotnik in Sonic Underground, and Gutsman in the original Mega Man cartoon.
So Grounder got a promotion at some point.
I guess so.
Actually, geez, it looks like the whole cast is full of voice acting veterans. Mega Man gets the English voice for Touta Matsuda in Death Note. Hypno Woman gets the voice actor for Mama Robotnik from Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, and Dot Matrix from Reboot, which also seems to be getting a reboot of its own this year. Even the voice actor for Mega Man from Powered Up is here playing, who is this kid?
Can't believe little Bert Wiley gets to hang with your famous dad in Miss Class. I love Team Light.
Bert Wiley? Bert Wiley is Mega Man's friend. And he's Bert Wiley. Okay, so is he, like, Dr. Wiley's son? or...
I don't know. I'm getting the feeling this guy over here is the real villain. This is Sergeant Breaker Knight, a veteran of the Hard Wars, along with Dr. Light. He seems to be sort of uncomfortably racist-level bigoted against robot kind, despite being forced to wear a cybernetic arm to replace the one he lost in the war.
Good God, why is the principal so big?
Oh, it's cool. He's voiced by the guy who did Knuckles in Sonic Underground and a whole bunch of characters in Mega Man NT Warrior.
Wow, this really makes me want to watch Sonic Underground.
Also, he has pencil rocket launchers. Oh, and this is Suna. She's sort of the Roll of this show, except she's not a robot. Also, her name isn't Roll.
Okay then. Well, once we've got all our introductions out of the way, the first enemy robot master attacks the school campus, the Renegade Fire Man. And his design is pretty awesome. Sort of looks like a fusion of Fireman and Gutsman, which is totally doing it for me.
What's not doing it for me are the random pixelated cutaways. Like, I get the point of the scene. This one's showing Fireman's time working as a welding robot, but the art shift is just sort of jarring. And the style reminds me of like Code Monkeys or old Bob and George comics or something. I can't quite place it, but it definitely feels off.
So Aki runs off to transform into Mega Man, and you can kind of see that his Mega Man form has a slightly different looking face from normal. I guess that's why Dr. Light can't tell that it's him, his son.
I don't know. I feel like he has to know, right? I mean, he can't be that oblivious, can he? Anyway, Mega Man starts fighting Fireman, and you can see another altered element in the show that's probably going to bring some drama. This capture beam thing. See, instead of defeating enemies to take their powers like in the games, or absorbing them by contact like in the Ruby Spears cartoon, Mega Man has to use this like tractor beam thing to absorb the abilities of his opponents. It kind of feels like a way to artificially add tension to a fight instead of making the fights actually be more difficult. Like, I'm a little worried we're just going to see a lot of like, oh no, you just need a little more, keep trying.
So Fireman kicks Mega Man's ass completely and sends him flying, bringing us to the end of part 1. But part 2 opens right up with Mega Man landing a few blocks away. The people and robots around him try to help him up, but he seems a little hot-headed.
You serious?
Blue Streak! Are you alright? How many fingers am I holding up?
Too many!
And this is the final piece of the fully charged puzzle. When Mega Man absorbs the abilities of his enemies, he also kind of absorbs their moods and anxieties and personalities a little. It's hard to explain, but look, Fireman is always angry and raring for a fight, so as soon as Mega Man absorbs his power, he starts flying off the handle and becomes kind of a bitch. The second episode isn't anything to write home about, but the first genuine laugh we both got came while Mega Man took Dr. Light, Suna, and Sergeant Knight into the sewer to hide and regroup.
Okay, now I've got you. As soon as I stop this man. Oh, wait.
Great stuff.
So Mega Man returns to fight and is able to win, sending Fireman flying and ultimately retreating by burning a hole through the ground?
Kind of a weak start to the series, but I didn't hate it. If I only had these two to go off of, I could at least say it wasn't the travesty the earliest peaks of the show were making it look like, but not yet impressed. So what's up next?
All right, next we got Drilling Deep, which starts almost immediately with Drill Man showing up to wreck Silicon City. A quick fight ensues, and Mega Man absorbs his powers,
Okay, he's a robot. He'll probably be fine, I think. Actually, do all the kids at the school know he's a robot? They have to, right? Otherwise, this is some straight-up Exorcist shit right here.
Well, I guess Drill Man must be dealing with some deep-seated insecurities or something, because Aki's immediately anxious about anybody seeing him in this state. But thanks to a horrible accident with his new hair-cutting robot, Bert Wiley saves the day by embarrassing himself to help Aki save face. You're a good friend, Bert, even if you are starting a trend of way too many wink-nudge references and even just this episode alone. I mean, look, there's the classic Dr. Wily hair, the Mega Man 2 theme that's already in the intro music, is also Aki's ringtone.
Ask Suna for help. She's smart. Shh.
Which all at least makes sense, but at the end of the episode, Mega Man just pulls a guitar out of his ass and...
Wait, right now? Ugh, that song's gonna be in my head all day now.
Just stop.
Hey, where's he following Drill Man to, anyway?
No idea. The episode just ends.
And then we go over to Videodrone. Is this going to be like the Technodrome or something? What is this?
This is apparently what someone thinks a video game looks like in a cartoon based on a video game. Okay, seriously, what is it with every TV show apparently having just no idea how video games work at all? It's not hard. Am I right or what?
Sorry, I have to get to level 4 if I want the high score.
It comes back later in the episode too. Like, how is it that someone can look at a screen like this, see 3 entirely different sizes of pixels and go, hey, yeah, that's a video game?
This episode also gives us a good look at what kind of technology everyone's going to be using throughout the series. Looks like there's an iPhone in everyone's pocket, and Suna is using a Nintendo Switch as a tablet to control her Sunacopters.
But technology is the real bad guy in this episode. Or no, wait, it's this lady, Hypno Woman, the school guidance counselor, who decides that the only way to make everyone happy is to hypnotize them via their phones. The school hired a robot named Hypno Woman and trusted her around kids. Yikes.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is that too problematic for you, Rick? Well, how about this one? Violence is the answer. Guns saved the school. Just shoot your problems, kids.
The D-pad does not condone any equation, including guns plus schools. We really hope nobody needs this spelled out, but we also don't want to get sued over a joke, so let's just err on the side of caution here.
Eventually, MegaMan defeats Hypno Woman after a really strange battle, and the school returns to normal.
Interestingly enough, after this, only the 4th episode of the entire series, Cartoon Network punted this one over to their backup channel Boomerang for the oh-so-revered time slot of 8 to 9 p.m. on Saturdays and Sundays.
Oh, do you guys even want this to be watched? All right, and next up is Please Rush Home, where we finally get to see Rush, who has been mysteriously absent from the first 4 episodes of the series, and more mysteriously, turned brown. He's fooling around with Aki and makes a mess, but when Aki makes a joke he doesn't understand, he runs away and goes off to somewhere else in the city.
While he goes out looking for his dog, Aki discovers the rogue Wave Man, who is looking for his pet alligator that he named
Alligator.
I don't have a lot to say about this episode, except that, holy shit, can Wave Man store a lot of water. Sewer water. He drowns the city in sewage to clean it.
Can't hold on much longer.
Honestly, the water particle effects here are, sort of weird. I mean, everything's huge. Like, obviously, the aesthetic of the show isn't going to allow for hyper-realistic flowing water effects, but this looks like some kind of weird gel is bubbling up all over the place.
It reminds me of Food Fight or something, but I mean, it's a huge step up from the pasted-on graphics of the first episode, so I guess this is at least going somewhere?
And after that, we have Blaze of Glory, which brings a massive heat wave into Silicon City, so it's a perfect time for Dr. Light to turn the family pool into some kind of weird, berry-flavored experiment. It must have some weird effect on the fluid's physics, because I have never seen a belly flop land so gently before.
Aki, Suna, and Bert notice that cooling systems across the city are failing, so Aki runs off to investigate the cooling plant. A thing that exists. To see what's jamming things up.
Fireman makes a return, and despite the continued ribbing from MegaMan and Mega Mini, seems to have actually taken their advice during their first altercation and taken up therapy. Just kidding, hot yoga. There's actually some care being taken with the characters here, and I actually kind of like what they're doing with Fireman.
Between MegaMan getting creative and using Waveman's powers to combat Fireman, and Bert modifying the Sunacopter with parts from his own Wily cycle, prompting Suna to give him a hug and his first boner, Fireman is flung into the sky again, the day is saved, and the heat is staved off once more. So naturally, the next episode's gonna swing things in the other direction.
So on his way to school, Aki wanders past some kind of weird, racist, anti-robot rally being led by Sergeant Knight, and can't resist getting up on stage in front of people who by all logic hate him to tell him that humans and robots should always live in harmony and please don't hate him, which is then taken very literally by an optimistic Iceman who decides to be a new hero for the city and frees people and robots together so that they're technically existing in harmony.
This doesn't sit well with Aki, but when Suna tries to stop him from charging headfirst into battle, the two get frozen together, leaving MegaMan to apparently try every method of killing his sister he can think of, from spinal fractures, massive head trauma, immolation. Not doing a great job there, Aki.
Suna is eventually able to help him think of a way to separate the two of them and stop Iceman, and I gotta be honest, they're also doing a pretty good job of giving each of the robot masters a somewhat unique set of goals from one episode to the next. I mean, Fireman is working with Sergeant Knight to sow discord, Drillman is dealing with feelings of inferiority and frustration, Hypno Woman and Iceman are both just trying to help, but in really dumb ways. There's some depth here that goes beyond bad robot wants fight.
Well, the next episode might change your mind on that, since it features the very Hardman-esque Blasto Woman, who's trying to steal old Hard Wars-era weapons for robot kind. She like Boom Boom.
Oh, who the fuck is this?
Oh, God, no. This is Peter Punkowski, and honestly, he might be the absolute worst part of this entire show.
He's a know-it-all asshole with a superiority complex, which would be bad enough on its own, except that in every single shot he's in, there is a huge fucking green booger daggling out of his nose and dripping and popping and being disgusting, and I hate him, Rick, I hate it!
It is so fucking disgusting. He even plays with it at the end of the episode. There are so many better ways to make a character someone you can hate without just grossing out the audience. Fuck this kid.
I mean it. Rick and I spent the entire episodes this kid was in complaining about this kid and being literally physically a little repulsed by his nasty booger face.
Oh no.
I like that.
Please no. That is the most fucking disgusting thing.
They've really made it worse.
Oh God, I hate looking at him. Please
he really
stop.
Makes me unhappy.
Don't zoom in on it. No, fucking stop.
This is instantly the worst
You know what's
episode.
interesting?
We're walking around a museum with two annoying characters. Oh, good, please.
Shut up. Stop.
Dude, wipe your nose!
I hate this. The camera keeps moving closer and closer. Please stop.
I literally took off my glasses so I couldn't see it. Why would you use
for
Wave
fuck's
Man?
sake. Stop. Stop. God.
Fuck you,
This-
whoever directed this.
This is the
is
fucking
infuriating.
worst.
I hope you take that
no.
and shoot yourself and it finally works.
Is there safety? Are you fucking serious? Stop playing with the fucking booger.
Just about the only good thing about this episode is that the art on the walls are references to artwork from across the Mega Man franchises, framed in this story as art from before the Hard Wars. That's kind of clever as references go. And as for the weapons, both Mega Man and Blasto Woman are trying to protect and preserve them, so there's a lot of careful battling from both sides to keep the artifact safe, which is pretty cool. It's a real shame Peter Punk fucking Booger Kid really ruins the rest of it.
Yeah, no, let's get the hell out of this episode and over to Tripping the Light Fantastic.
What? Oh, you mean the very popular turn of phrase that means dancing energetically and nimbly, as attributed to Milton's L'Allegro in 1645. Come and trip it as ye go on the light fantastic toe.
Yeah, sure, that you said. The episode starts with Dr. Light getting blinded with cologne, so this chick that looks exactly like Hypno Woman can walk into whatever passes for G-rated Careless Whisper these days.
Oh shit, wait, that does look like Hypno Woman. Even Aki and Mega Mini think so. So much that when Dr. Light and Marie, as she calls herself, head on a romantic date, Mega Man tries to infiltrate the evening.
Even after the eventual reveal that, yes, Mari is in fact Hypno Woman in disguise, I'm actually sorta kinda rooting for the plot to be about her legitimately just trying to get herself a man of action for the night.
And after hypnotizing the rest of the dinner guests so she and Dr. Light can win the dance contest being held at the restaurant, she pulls Dr. Light in close to tell him that she's Hypno Woman. Huh. So she was just there for a nice date after all.
That's kind of awesome. The episode is honestly really sweet and lets Hypno Woman cut loose and have fun. And even Mega Man gets some great sight gags in the background, working undercover as a server at the restaurant to spy on them.
I kind of like the way that they're making the robot masters all have personalities and, while not human, be on the same level as humans and sort of have character development like any other character might in a show. It's like a real show.
It's so good, in fact, that it actually kind of redeems Videodrone, too.
Yeah, it's a nice partner episode that gives a lot more insight into what Hypno Woman is really like and how she's a flawed but generally well-meaning robot.
John, I think I'm starting to like this show.
Well, let's fix that. The last episode in the initial 10-part blast is Running Wild, which has almost nothing to do with what's happening in the episode. Right off the bat, we see the city under attack by a robot that looks like a combination of Windman, Gyroman.exe, and Aviator from Mighty No. 9. But do you want to guess who it really is? Well, no matter what you just guessed, you are wrong, because this is somehow Airman, who looks absolutely nothing like any version of Airman we've ever seen, ever. Like, fine, I get it. Waveman's blue and Iceman's blue, and that means that there's already two blue villains, not including Mega Man's own blue color scheme. Yeah, but like, why yellow? Why this weird VTOL design? This is just strange.
Mega Man fights off Airman pretty trivially, absorbing his power and handing him over to what is supposed to be a pair of Robocops, but is actually two cardboard cutouts? The fuck? No wonder there's so much chaos in Silicon City.
Meanwhile, back at school, Burt Wiley is excitedly running to succeed Suna as class president, and he's running against
Don't say it.
Peter Punk.
No!
And there's even a booger on his campaign poster. Frankly, I like Burt's better.
Bert for prez?
Yeah.
There's no words on that poster, Aki. You okay?
At least there's no booger on the Peter Punk pizzas he starts bribing people with, but unfortunately for Bert, Airman's extreme ego got into Aki's head, prompting him to run for president as well, even transforming into Mega Man just to throw some celebrity weight behind his candidacy. What a fucking awful friend.
Alright, wait, hang on. Is that jarring little pixelated cutaway supposed to be Aki's mood getting altered by the robot master absorption thingy? How did it take us this long to notice? Is it just badly telegraphed, or are we idiots? Or are we talking while we're watching the show? Maybe that's part of the problem.
MegaMan tries to take Airman on again head to head, but when both of them get so big-headed that MegaMan notices his own classmates are afraid of him too, he decides to use some resourcefulness instead, using a bunch of campaign posters as a makeshift leaf shield to distract and beat him.
Aki then does the right thing and bows out of the race before doing the wrong thing and continuing to talk about himself on the podium. But either way, Bert wins. President Wiley.
President Wiley. President Wiley. President Wiley.
And that's it. All 10 episodes.
What? No, hang on, that can't be it. No. We never saw Elec Man. We never saw Potion Man. Who the hell is this blue-haired chick? Hey, is that Fireman? There has to be more episodes of this show. It is way too weird for the opening credit sequence to have a bunch of characters that haven't even shown up in the first blast of episodes.
That is really strange, but do you really want there to be more?
I mean, yeah, man. Okay, obviously this show is far from perfect, and it's not exactly the most faithful adaptation of the Mega Man series, but word on the street is Capcom explicitly told Man of Action not to make it a straight adaptation and give it a unique take on the idea.
Wait, really? I guess that's why this show seems to take on more of a superhero aesthetic than the games do. I mean, yeah, even in the games, Rock is just a robot assistant until he asks Dr. Light to turn him into Mega Man so he can reclaim his brothers. So I guess the concept is there in the games, just taken another step forward with the show. Or the little capture beam thing or whatever didn't wind up being a crutch nearly as much as I would have expected.
The animation is fine too, though the textures are a little bland. The show thrives on its writing and its action, but the visual designs can leave a lot to be desired. Everything has a tendency to feel sort of chunky and plasticky.
Also, what is the deal with these episode titles? They don't make any sense. I mean, sure, Drilling Deep and Please Rush Home, clunky as they may be, are still pretty reasonable, but Throw in Shade, which didn't have Shade Man, Hard Times in Silicon City, Tripping the Light Fantastic, what is this? I don't know, man. I'm not sold on it yet. I'm still on the fence. What are you doing?
Huh? Oh, sorry. No, nothing. It's fine. What were you saying something?
Were you looking up more Fully Charged?
No, I totally wasn't. I just wanted to make sure. I wanted to see if there were other episodes that were coming, because it's research. Look, this show actually has some real promise. I mean, once you get past it not being a direct adaptation of the games and more framed as a superhero show with Mega Man branding, it's a much easier pill to swallow. The Robot Master designs are almost universally well conceived and executed, sometimes even better than the generally stellar Battle Network counterparts.
I mean, yeah, the show is clearly designed with young children in mind, but it's no Paw Patrol. I mean, there's stuff in there for adults too. But because of the simplistic designs, everything tends to feel a little plastic. Not to mention some of the effects look like they were pasted on, and others are about as convincing as the game over screen from Resident Evil.
At the end of the day, though, this show has promise. Even if there are entirely loathsome characters like Peter Punkowski, Hypno Woman and Fireman are quickly becoming some of our favorite characters, and surprisingly nuanced ones at that. And look, see? 8 more episodes so far. They're doing the next 2 tomorrow, and no mention of Peter Punk in any of them. And there's one with Hypno Woman, and Chemistry Man?